Hello everyone, welcome to Just Hangouts, the official podcast of Just Nerds, where we just hang and talk about any interesting topics we have about the week. I'm Jonathan, and I will be hosting today's episode, and with me as always is my co-host, Blake.
Hello everybody, it's good to be here on Just Hangouts. I'm glad to be hanging out.
Same buddy, how you been?
Been pretty good. I'm now destitute because I spent all my money on Black Friday. So I'm now recording in the homeless shelter as of now. So yeah, the homeless here. To be fair, they're really good at Smash Brothers, so they make good training partners. So
damn, cool. Well, I guess that's my first question, Blake. Black Friday happened a little while ago, and of course, as always, some good game sales. As always, Blake, I'm a little scared to ask. What did you get on Black Friday?
Well, I was gonna ask. Do you want to go first and tell me if you bought anything?
Yeah, you're right. Because
I feel like my list
shorter
is
than yours.
Yeah, my list has literally sunk me into the pits of poverty. So maybe you should go first and tell me because number one, you haven't told me actually. So
I didn't buy too much. Well, kind of gaming related. The reason why I didn't buy too much was I bought the Elgato for $120. Pretty good deal. Like a few weeks, like a month ago, it was like $200, but I got it for $120 new. So that's good. But for actual games, I got God of War for $10 because, hey, that's a steal, my guy. My first thing I got was Ori and the Blind Forest on Switch because I really want to play the game and it was on sale. And then I bought Catherine Full Body, the Steelbook Edition for $25 at Best Buy, and I think at least at GameStop that was the same price for the normal edition. So I consider that a victory. And I think that's it. There might have been one other game, but I think for the most part that was it. I almost got that's the thing, I almost got Dragon's Dogma for like $25-30, but I decided I'll wait till like it goes on, or maybe 20. It was on sale for $20. But I decided to wait because I have another big RPG that I want to play soon. So I figure I'll wait. But that's it for me.
Are you hinting at something like I have another RPG, but I'll save that for later?
Well, I wasn't really.
Okay. I thought you were. I totally thought you were hinting at it.
We've been discussing it. Dragon Quest XI looks fantastic.
Oh yeah. And
I really want to play that soon on Switch. And I know that's like a 90+ hour game. So once I get it, I know I won't have time for another big RPG. So that was the main reason.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, I'm excited for trying. But dude, you got some. To talk about yours for real quick, you got some good stuff, bro. I do consider that a victory for that Steelbook, the Catherine thing. That was great.
Yep.
That's nice.
Always gotta go for those Steelbooks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shoot, they make for nice collector's pieces if they're not empty. So.
Yeah, but I had to never mind. Well, I had to go with someone I had to get a ride from someone. And, And when I bought it, I think like they looked at it and were like, "What the heck is this?"
Oh, because the cover has like three Catherines, right? Yeah. So it's like, well,
the front isn't that bad, but then the back has like the three, and you can like the blonde Catherine. You know, her design is like.
Oh well, that's the yeah.
yeah. And I was like, this person usually doesn't care what I get, but they just looked, and I could tell by their face. They're like,
It's a puzzle game. It's a puzzle game. I promise.
I know, that's what I'm getting it for. The puzzle game. And its unique, complex story.
It's a puzzle game, I swear to God.
But yeah. So that was it for me on Black Friday.
I mean, Ori on the Blind Forest and the Blind Forest is a pretty good steal, I say. I saw that on sale. That was weird. It was like I was looking the day before Black Friday or like the day of or something like that, and I didn't see it. But then it just popped up. I'm like, what the heck? Where was this? Where was this when I was going on my shopping spree?
But one of the best deals was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for like $47, I think.
I did see that too on. I think that was the eShop, correct?
Yeah. I was like, damn, Nintendo never lowers their first party games.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey I think went on sale for a little bit too, but
I think you're right too. Yeah.
Yeah, about the same price, like 40. You're only getting like 20.
Yeah.
not a whole lot, but it's still a decent enough price. I mean, especially for the game you're getting. So
yeah.
But yeah, overall some pretty good deals, brother. Good stuff.
What deals did you get?
All right, so I actually did not make the journey on Black Friday itself to like go to stores. I was looking at GameStop's like ads, and I didn't see anything I wanted. The only thing I wanted,
GameStop wasn't much.
Yeah, there was only one thing I wanted, but I just didn't bother because it was like so inconsequential to me. Was Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. It went from $39.99 to $9.99, and I was like, ooh, now that's cool. But but all the GameStops were packed, and I was like, you know what? No, thanks. I don't.
Real quick, I didn't go like out on Black Friday either. Like, I think after work on Black Friday, I just checked real quick at my GameStop because I didn't look at the deals. But like you said, the deals weren't that great anyways. Yeah. I was like, there's nothing. But Best Buy, I got those things online.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it's I don't know how it works. I'm a member of Best Buy Rewards. Oh. And they at least do like I think the sales started like Monday or Tuesday or something. So I was able to look at those deals early and go, oh, Catherine is out, so cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't do any traveling on Black Friday either.
Yeah, I did a little bit, just a teeny bit, but I didn't do as much as I nearly do, which like back in the day, me and my brother used to just hop from GameStop to like Target to Walmart,
awesome.
Just go nuts. It was fun. And I did get to experience my favorite part of Black Friday, which is hearing some of the salespeople try to sell people on products that they have no idea about. I went into Target, and this these two parents were asking, like, do you have Mario Kart for PlayStation? And I was listening to this Target employee who I think had no business being in the tech section because he didn't know that, like, Nintendo is, like, a competitor with Sony. And he was all like, yeah, I don't think Mario Kart's on PlayStation yet. I think it'll come, like, next year. And I'm like, what the heck? All right. And then my favorite part, this is my all-time favorite part, is we're in front of the PlayStation section because I'm looking at a copy of Medieval, which was $20. And I was like, ooh, not too bad. But I'm going to wait a little longer on that because I've never played the original. And so, but there's three racing games in front of him, right, for PlayStation. Sonic Team Racing, Crash Team Racing, and Need for Speed.
Okay.
Right? So your kid wants Mario Kart, and as a gamer, you're like, well, the closest thing to Mario Kart would be, CTR or Sonic Team Racing. Right?
Yeah.
This guy working at is like, well, colorful kart racer with colorful cast of characters. Need for Speed's a racing game. And so he recommends Need for Speed, and they're like, oh, my kid should love that. I'm like, Need for Speed? Oh, God. I just thought that was so funny.
They probably will, but yeah.
I know. I mean, yeah, but like, come on. When your kid wants Mario Kart, Sonic Team Racing or Crash Team Racing are far better options. But I thought that was funny, and I usually get stuff like that. Like one time, to diverge a little bit, one time at Black Friday, I remember this mom was like, we have Xbox, but I want a game for my kid. He's about 8 years old. And then the guy's like, all right, well, let's go over the Xbox section. And he spends 30 minutes looking for a game that's suitable for him because all the Xbox library is like first-person shooters and M-rated game. He's like, well, and I'm just like, oh, this poor guy. Like, oh, no. And so he has to, like, pick from, like, the bottom of the barrel, like those really just bad knockoff games where it's like, well, this one's based on, what is it, Legend of Korra, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, things like that. And it's
the
like
Ninja Turtle game.
Yeah, it's just like a licensed game or something like that.
Yeah.
But, so to go back to what we're talking about, all my purchases were digital. I bought all my stuff on the PlayStation Store or the Switch Store just because I had the best sales. So, I guess I'll go over what I bought on the PlayStation Store for Black Friday / the end of the year sale that's going on right now. If you want to check that out, they have some amazing deals.
Didn't that sale end like yesterday as of this recording?
I don't know. Did it? It better not have.
It might have.
Wow. Blake, I'm a genius. I mean, I bought everything at like 2 a.m., so I feel like the sale's still going on. So
maybe you're right.
That's 2 a.m. today. Anyway, so I bought Gravity Rush Remastered because I've heard really good things about that game. I heard it was like a star, like a kind of a lost gem on the Vita.
Yeah, I still have to play that.
Yeah, I want to try it. So I was gonna text you and ask you like, hey, do you think I should buy this? But I was like, you know what?
I probably would have said yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. If I like it, I'll buy the sequel, but we'll see. I also bought Indivisible because I really wanted to try that game. Art style looks great, and I've heard that it's not like RPG, like the kind that I'm scared of. Yeah. It looks like the kind of RPG that's more my style, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll shell out.
Look very unique.
Yeah, and so I'm down for it. I also got God of War for $9.99 because good lord, that's a steal.
Yeah.
I also got Unravel 2, which means I'm dragging you along for the adventure next time, John.
Yo.
You're gonna be the red one. I'm gonna be the blue one, just like Cuphead.
Nice.
And I also, and I think you're gonna be happy about this, I bought KOF 98, King of Fighters.
Ooh.
And because I was like, you know what? I've heard that this is like one of the greatest fighting games ever made. I want to give it a shot.
Okay, for a second I was like, it's not the one everybody hates. But
no,
I think that's
97 is the one I think people were like, it's okay. But 98 is the one that Sakurai recommends. Maximilian Dude recommends. Like, everybody I've ever seen is like, yeah, KOF 98 is like one of the best fighting games ever. And so I bought that. I tried it out, and it's real fun. It's real fun. So we're going to have to play that at some point, John.
Yeah, on our fighting game series.
Yeah. And for the last thing I bought, which wasn't on sale, but I bought it anyway, was Broly for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I tried him out a little bit, and just super brief impressions. He's super fun. He's got I think you'll like him. I think I know you think Broly was weird for the OG Broly, but I think this Broly's a lot more like less based on armor and just punching through things. He's more just like
he looks like.
Yeah, he's more just like gets in on you and just can hit you with whatever he wants. He's got big boy moves, so. And then on Switch, I bought all my purchases on Switch were indie games because I really like the indie scene. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm really liking these indie games. So I bought Eliza, which I believe is a story-driven game about a artificial AI that is supposed to help people through therapy. So I thought that sounded interesting, so I bought that. Night in the Woods, which is about a dropout college student that's a cat that goes back to her hometown to like discover herself, and it looked like fun. It's like an adventure game, but story driven. I was like, okay, that sounds cool. Another game called Minute, MINIT, which I guess your life only lasts like 60 minutes, so you have to after 60 seconds you die, and you have to start back to where you came from, and you have to like try to overcome obstacles in a limited amount of time. Looked fun. I like the art style, so I'm interested in it. And then the last one I bought was The King's Bird, which is a platformer, a super colorful, stylish platformer that looks like it's like super majestic and peaceful, kind of like Grizz. So, yeah, lots of purchases, lots of things to play. I'm very poor now.
Well, that doesn't sound that. I was expecting worse, to be honest.
No, I mean, okay.
Well, the way you said it was like, yo, I bought too many games.
I feel like I bought a lot. I mean, I'm looking at this list like, oh my god, I have to play everything here. It's like, I don't know. But there were some things that I was considering buying. I was considering buying Injustice 2 Legendary Edition for, I think it was $14.99 or $19.99. Like, ooh. Like, I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's a good price. But when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm better off just either getting MK11 or just waiting for a long time for Injustice 3. And I was like, you know what? I'm sure it would be fun, but if I'm going to pick a fighting game, I'm going to go with KOF. Because I haven't tried that game before. I was also considering getting... What is it? Shadow of the Colossus, the remaster, for $99. But I actually already own that game on PS3.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, you know what? I know the remaster is probably like the definitive way to play it, but I figure like, I'll just play it on the PS3.
But when are you getting Soul Calibur 6?
I looked for it. The DLC was on sale, but the game itself was not. But I'm gonna grab Soul Calibur 6 at some point. I kind of also want to get Samurai Showdown at some point. Maybe they'll go on sale towards the end of the year. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, yeah, I definitely
Blake has been saying he's going to get Soul Calibur 6 for like a year now, and he hasn't done it yet, people.
Because I'm still playing Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball's getting a Season 3. And I'm playing Smash. I have 2 fighting games. 2 fighting games that I'm horribly invested in. Or whatever.
Me. You betrayed me, sir. You betrayed me. You said we would get Soul Calibur 6 together.
Then we'll get Soul Calibur 6 together.
It's already been a year, Blake.
Well, you know what? There's always next year, John. But anyways, that's what I bought. I mean, I'm excited to play everything on here. Jeez. I'm looking at my list of things that I still haven't even beaten, like, the games I'm still trying to finish now, so.
Yeah, I was thinking, when is Blake gonna get to some of these games?
Yeah.
Probably never.
Oh, I'll get to them at some point, but anyways, what have you been playing and watching recently?
Well, I was gonna ask, what have you been playing? So, since you're still going, you keep the spotlight going.
Well, my list is short anyways. I've only really been playing excuse me, sorry, my words are getting mixed up. I've only really been playing one game. I've been playing, believe it or not, Crash Bandicoot on the Insane Trilogy, the first one.
Ooh.
Crash Bandicoot 1.
Oh yeah, you just said you got that.
Yeah, I got that like a couple, I don't know, not a whole long time ago, but I got it a while back because it was on sale, and I was like, you know what? Let me actually give it a shot. I've been putting it off because, like, I wanted to beat some of the other stuff, like Smash Brothers came out, obviously, and I was like, well, I gotta play Smash Brothers, so, or I bought Smash Brothers rather, not Smash Brothers came out, but I've been playing that, and yeah, it's hard. It's real hard. It's making me angry. What's sad, what sucks the most about it is it's one of those games where it's like, when you mess up, it's literally your fault alone.
Yeah.
And so, like,
what it looks like.
When I die, I sit there and I'm like, why am I stupid? Like, why am I the worst guy ever made? Like, why do I suck? I haven't made this jump.
I don't know. Why do you suck?
Yeah. No, that's the thing, right? Like, that's what I actually do. I sit there and I'm like, why do I suck? Like, why? Just why am I trash? Why did I buy this game knowing it would reveal the flaws in my character and my everything?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's a great game. I love it. Because I like games like that. I like games that make me feel like a dingus.
Like trash?
Yeah, because they're kind of fun. There's kind of a fun... Like, that's why I like Cuphead. That's why I really enjoyed Ninja Gaiden when I first played that. It's just because it's like... It's just fun to kind of get mad at the game and be like, oh my god, I'm not this bad. I'm really good. Like, it's so it's... I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Once I beat it, maybe I'd consider playing it, like streaming it or something like. I don't know, doing something with it. But I feel like it's more fun to watch someone get mad at it for the first time.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I would agree.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd still mess up because I'm still trash. I'm still not gonna make that jump. But you know, so.
Well, keep doing your best, sir.
Yeah. But that's really all I've been playing. I unfortunately haven't had the benefit of having much time to sit down and finish Spider-Man, even though I'm like right on the cusp of finishing Spider-Man.
Damn you! What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Crash Bandicoot.
I hate you.
Anyway,
this is your problem. You don't finish games. You just keep.
No, I finish games. I just have to finish them in due time.
So, did you finish Final Fantasy VII yet?
Brother, I started Final Fantasy VII like 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Of course I haven't finished Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, this is only supporting my claim. Yeah. You don't finish games.
I finish games.
Did you finish Earthbound?
No, I haven't finished Earthbound. But Earthbound, okay, but no. See, here's the thing. I didn't finish Earthbound, and here's why. I love Earthbound, but there's something about that game where, like, I'll play it, and I'll be like, man, this game's awesome. But then there's like a point where I'm like, I'll turn it off and be like, man, Earthbound's a great game. But then I'll wake up and be like, do I want to play Earthbound? I don't really feel like playing Earthbound.
But also, how long did it take you to beat Kingdom Hearts 1? From when you started playing it?
From when I started playing it?
Yeah, the first time you played it on PS3 or PS4, whatever you got it on.
Oh my god. John, you're crazy.
Didn't you start that in high school?
No, John. No, are you talking about when I got the collection?
Yeah, I think you told me you started it in high school.
I restarted that game.
You restarted that game. That's what I'm saying. I
restarted. Well, that's the thing.
Then you started over.
Well, because that's when I first bought it. I bought it for the PS3. I bought it on the which one is it?
Yeah, but did you play? That my question is, did you play it a little when you first got it for PS3?
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
That's not starting a game, though. That's
Yes,
just trying
yeah,
a game
it
out.
is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No. Starting a game is when you start a brand new save file and you go in on that game. That's what I mean. To me, a campaign of a game is when you start new game and you start a new file and you get from beginning to end. That's that time length, all right?
No, see, that's the big difference. Like I said, Final Fantasy VII, you played it first, what, 10 hours? 10 hours?
Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah. How far did you get in Final Fantasy VII?
I got to after the first motorcycle chase.
So, first, like, 7 to 10 hours?
Yeah, and then the boss beat me, and I was like, you know what?
That counts as starting it. So, if you beat it, like, say you start over, like, and you beat it, like, 2 years from now,
no,
it took you, like, 2 years to beat that game.
Heck no, that's...
Yeah, that's what...
I refuse to count it that way. That's unfair.
I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying.
No.
Right, but, so is that it for watching and playing?
Yeah, that's it for me.
Alright. So, for watching, well, first, I watched Scream Season 3. A few podcasts ago, I said I was watching Scream Season 1 and 2. Season 3 is, like, brand new characters, like, not related to the first 2 seasons at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, completely different town, completely different thing. They go with the original Ghostface mask from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 seasons went with their own version. It makes sense why they go for their own version. Like, it works with, like, the lore of the legend in that town specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember thinking, this is just, like, an edgy version of Ghostface. Just do Ghostface. It's an iconic look.
Mm-hmm.
But they did it for Season 3, which I was happy about. Season 3 was fine. I thought it was solid. It was only 6 episodes. I think Season 1 and 2 are like 10 to 12 episodes each.
That's pretty short.
Yeah, it was really short. I thought it was fine. Again, it was fine for what it was going for. The characters and like what they were building to was kind of cool. I would say it's less interesting because there's less, especially because it's only 1 season and it ends with that season. Like, there's no really cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
There's less characters to like be suspicious of.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's really only like 5 or 6 they are supposed to be suspicious of. But in Scream Season 1 and 2, even though you kind of, there's characters you're like, well, obviously it's not them. But the show it kind of brings everybody as a suspect, you know? This one is really not that many characters. But I will say the last episode is not great. The reveal of who it is, it's not even that, well, the reveal is kind of lame. But also the reasoning is also kind of lame. The reason mostly is because the reasoning and like when reveals happen, they kind of come out of nowhere. Like there's like maybe 3 or 4 reveals that happen in the last episode. And it's like, we never knew this information in the last 5 episodes, and you're kind of just throwing this all in. And now I'm like, okay, well, I couldn't have really guessed it because you're throwing in this motivation out of nowhere. Okay. But that's really all I have to say. It's fine. If you like Season 1 and 2, you'll like Season 3 probably. The last thing for watching, I'm still watching the Resident Evil CGI movies. I watched Damnation like a week ago, I would say, and I watched Degeneration this week. I started Vendetta, but had to do like something else. So I watched maybe the first 30-40 minutes of Vendetta. So Degeneration, not good. Not good. That one stars Leon and Claire for the most part. And it was the first, I forget when that movie came out, 2007, 2009? Maybe later than that. But that movie obviously has aged, Yeah, the faces look, not all the faces look off, but like Leon's specifically, like especially his model doesn't really move a lot of times when he talks, and it's very stiff, But the plot wise, it's not great. I expect, from what I hear, people think it's like the best one, at least from the little I've heard. It's what I expected from this story was not what I got. There's a lot of like meandering and kind of like it doesn't go straight from like A to B. It kind of like goes around from A to B. You know, it takes a while to get there. Not enough Claire doing cool things. Claire only does like one cool thing, and it's probably the coolest part of the movie. Leon is weird because it was like he's not super cheesy coolest guy in the world Leon from RE4, but he's still kind of that in a way. I don't know, it was weird. They brought in a new character like that you really focus on, and I thought I don't care like at all. Yeah, not that great to be honest. I think if it was more just straightforward with its initial concept about it being like in an airport and there are zombies in the airport and like, you know, what happens in there, I think that would have been more interesting rather than what actually happens. So yeah, not great. But Damnation is the second movie that takes place. So the first one takes place between Resident Evil 2 and 4. The second movie takes place between Resident Evil 4 and 5, and from what I know, I think these are all canon.
Well, I was just about to ask, are these like canon movies? Or are these
I think they are canon, but like none of them like go against the games or anything. So, Damnation, yeah, it's the weirdest plot I would say. The one that deviates the most from the Resident Evil formula because it has to do. There's a lot of like politics in it. It takes place in Russia, and how there's like a resistance trying to fight against the government, and like the government I think is using BOWs like the zombies and lickers and as like an army in a way. It's weird. It deviates a lot. However, I enjoyed it a lot. I think maybe because my expectations were lower than Generation. But I actually really enjoyed it. Leon, well, first off, the animation looks way better, of course. Like, it actually looks pretty good for the most part, I think. It's more fun. Like, there's way more action in it. Yeah, I would say there's more action in it, and like the characters do more stuff. Like Leon's in it. Even Ada's in it. She does, you know, a decent amount in it. She was cool, and like there is stuff where like they can control things like the lickers, and to me on paper that sounds really stupid, and it is, but it was pretty cool. Like you see lickers fighting like Mr. X's, and I was like, this is stupid, but this is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Like the action was really dumb, but it was fun. I would say it was a fun movie, and like from what I've seen of all three movies, again, haven't finished the third one, but all the villain motivations are kind of the same. It's like my family, or like, yeah, like my family / my wife was killed from like by these people, and so I want revenge on them, and I'm gonna use like the virus, or I'm gonna use, you know, whatever bioterror thing. That's like the motivation for all these villains. But I would say it connects the most in the second one because of like who the main villain is. Like, I think because I don't know, but I could say that about the first one too. But his motivations, I think, make more sense, and you connect to him more. And I actually kind of liked his character. I thought I would hate it, but I related to it. I thought his resolution and his story was pretty cool, and his journey, you know. But again, you're mostly going for that action, and you know, it's a fun time. I actually think I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but it's solid enough. Then haven't finished Vendetta yet. I will report on Vendetta once I finish, but the animation actually looks, you know, really good in that one. It looks great. So far it's pretty goofy and silly, but hey, at what Resident Evil has become, it fits perfectly, I think, with like that kind of what they've been doing, you know.
At the point of when the movie was made, right?
Exactly.
Because this was made like what, like RE4, RE5.
This was made Vendetta was made like after RE6.
Oh, so, then like, oh my god, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Damnation was made after RE5 came out. I'm pretty sure. Maybe a little before, but still, like.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's when
Resident Evil was in its goofy, dumb action phase.
Boulder punching Chris, baby, the best Chris.
So I think that's why like Damnation and kind of Vendetta specifically, I'm like, okay, like I can vibe a bit more with them because it fits with what Resident Evil was at that point. Like after 4, you don't really take RE that seriously, to be honest. Like, so it was fine. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. So for playing, I finished Resident Evil 5 on stream. I don't think I talked about it. I don't think in the last podcast.
No, I think the last podcast you said you were gonna finish it.
Yeah, I finished it and it's okay.
Just okay, John.
It's just okay.
Wow. All right, well, you obviously didn't see the same game that I saw, so.
It was just okay. Like I wanted it to be more, I guess, more goofy Resident Evil because that's what I thought it was, and it really only gets that in the last maybe 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
You know. Like more kind of like nonsense happening.
Yeah, well, when you're fighting Kung Fu Wesker and all his.
Yeah, like that was fun. But a lot of it is just run and like fight these wave of enemies. Okay, now fight these waves, and I was thinking about it. Like, 'cause RE4 is kind of the same thing, but RE4 like switches it up a bit more than RE5. Like RE5 is just straight up that. And I don't know, it's something with the way RE5 does it. I think maybe even the level design as well. Like it's just kind of bland. It's something about it. Like the gameplay feels good. You know, it feels tight and solid. Like kind of like a tighter RE4 in a way. But there's just something about it, which is it felt more dull and repetitive than the other ones. You know.
That makes sense. I mean, that's what I saw when you were playing it.
Yeah, because like you're kind of doing the same thing in every Resident Evil, a different variation, but still. But RE5 felt the most like dull to me. Yeah, that's really all I have to say in RE5. It was fine. I think it really benefited me playing co-op. If it was by myself, I would have been like way more bored than I was. Because we played also the DLC Lost in Nightmares, which is just like an hour, I think like an hour and a half of you're in kind of like more traditional RE1. You're in a mansion, and it like you don't do much. You fight. There's like maybe a 20 to 30 minute part where you can fight enemies, but you never have to shoot your gun, to be honest. So you don't do much gameplay in it in terms of combat, but just the atmosphere and mostly the atmosphere, I would say, it made it way more interesting than RE5, and that's than the base game.
Well, because it's basically you're in the Spencer Mansion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like you're going back to RE1, which is still good. Like so I mean.
Exactly, but it's weird because you don't do much except like 95% of it is like walking around and reading documents.
Yeah.
But
to get more context on, and oh my god, reading documents, like you read a whole English novel by the time they're done.
The atmosphere and just like the way it was structured, it felt way more interesting than the base game, and that's me and my co-op partner Kyle. We felt the same way. Like we were having a fine time with RE5, then we played the DLC, and then we finished and went, oh yeah, we have to go back to the base game. And yeah, that's really the most I have to say. In terms of my rankings, I've been doing rankings every time. I would probably say RE5 is on the bottom of my list.
Dang, John.
Even below RE0, which I still like RE0. This one, the first one, I kind of did not like very much. But yeah, and
Poor RE5.
Poor RE5. But
that's fine. I get it.
Yeah. So another thing I've been playing, I played a little bit of Teppen, sir.
Oh, you did.
I did.
Okay. What'd you think?
I think it's pretty fun. I remember, I don't know if I said it here, I might have, but before I said, like, Teppen doesn't seem interesting to me because it just seemed like a Hearthstone clone. And, like, playing it is. But there are a lot of those games now, like, whether it's the Fate one, Teppen, or, like, I've seen a bunch of generic, like, kind of anime style ones.
Yeah.
Not really based off a property, but, you know,
yeah, just like an original, yeah.
Yeah. And I go, oh, yeah, these are all kind of Hearthstone clones in a way. And the first experience I saw with Teppen, it was Maximilian Dude's, like, gameplays of it.
Yeah.
When Nero came out, I remember thinking, yo, Nero came out? And maybe I will touch on it. But then I remember seeing, like, the models and everything, like, for Nero and, like, seeing the game how it was, and I went, I don't know. Seems more like a. I was expecting less of a Hearthstone clone than I initially saw, and so that made me go, maybe not. But then I started yesterday actually. I was doing editing, and I was just trying to procrastinate. I was a little bored, plus in the middle of rendering, and so I thought, you know what, screw it. Let me throw it on my phone, and it was pretty fun. I had a fun time. Yeah, I think Nero and maybe like even Dante, I think they have the worst models. Like Nero, I think his main model looks kind of funky still. I gotta be honest. But like Ryu, Chun-Li, Jill, Morgan, I think they all have great models in that game. They all look great. But what helped, I think, was I realized it has a lot more but like production behind it than I initially thought. It does look kind of a little bit of a step up than the other like Hearthstone clones I've seen.
Yeah.
But
well, it's also Capcom, so I mean.
Yeah.
They have the.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't sure how much backing by Capcom there was. Like, is it that Capcom knows about it, but they don't really, have their hands in it at all? But now it seems like, from what I played, it seems like there is a little bit of Capcom having their hands in it, which I think makes it feel a bit more official.
Yeah.
Which helps me get into it. But it was fun. Again, from what I've seen, it's kind of like Hearthstone Light in a way. Of course, I don't know all the mechanics of Hearthstone. I played a little. But I'm sure Teppen has different mechanics from it.
On the subject of the art, though, if you want to ask who I think has the worst model, I definitely think it's Mega Man. From what I've seen,
Mega Man looks weird.
Oh God, I don't like what they did to him. I think what?
I don't think it's the model. I think it's the design.
But that's what I mean, though. Like why did they give?
In terms of model, I think Nero looks the weirdest, but Mega Man has a really odd design. I think that's what also pushed me away a little. Like, are these kind of like? Because Nero and Mega Man were the ones and Dante were kind of the only ones I saw. So my first thought was, are these kind of like redesigns of characters? That's what made me, I think, help with it's just not like a super official with Capcom, because they have to like redesign the characters a little.
Well, yeah, to make it work.
Funky.
But
he looks funky.
Yeah, dude, Mega Man looks. Ugh, like he looks. Yeah. I don't like the way his body's built. I don't like the eyes. I've seen Ryu.
No,
Ryu looks sick. Like Ryu
looks amazing.
Ryu looks like a freaking warrior from another dimension. Like he looks so bad.
That's what made me go, oh wait, well no, these models are cool, because the tutorial you play as Ryu, and he looks great.
Yeah.
So I'm having fun with it. It took me just a little bit to get used to it, but I've only played maybe 2 hours total of it, right? But I've gotten used to it, and it's pretty good.
That's still a lot, though. 2 hours is still a lot.
Yeah, but it's cool how like the cards, if you know, they kind of reflect. If you know the character, you can see how they kind of reflect that character and like the effects that they have, which is cool. Especially with like the decks themselves. Like Ryu is just straight up like, it's very simple. You're just trying to get that damage in.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Ryu's like the starting point, which makes sense for the fact that he's like that.
I've only played a little. So from what I understand, haven't played all of the decks or like all of the variations, but there are the purple decks, which deal with like debuffing your enemy characters. So they have like less damage. There are the blue decks, which deal with increasing the health of your cards so that they don't die as easily. You can keep hitting your opponent. The red cards are like more of the damage cards. Like you're going for that damage. Like you're not really building up your character or lessening the other character. You're going for that damage mostly. And those are the only ones I've seen so far. I know there's like a black deck, and I think there's one more. But for example, like Mega Man is all about increasing the health of your cards.
Yeah.
Whereas Chun-Li is also blue deck, but she deals with shields. Like she will put shields around your own cards. So it's similar but kind of different, which is cool.
Just added difference.
Like, yeah.
Wow, they really. Chun-Li's art looks like no different.
It doesn't, which is why I was like,
That's
oh, okay.
so weird. Like they
every character
Ryu
is not exactly like. That's what made me go, oh, it's not just. These aren't just all of them are redesigned. It's really just Mega Man, and Nero looks kind of weird.
What a weird style. Like Ryu looks like he's like freaking his gi's all ripped up. Like he looks like he's like Master Ryu from another dimension. Whereas like then you got Chun, who looks literally ripped out of Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
Like that's that's Chun-Li, glowing foot and all. But I mean that's it. How does Nero look? Let me see. Hold on.
I think it looks kind of weird still. Like Blake's about to look it up.
Okay, hold on. I haven't looked at it up close. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see.
I just think it looks a bit like off. I think maybe also because Devil May Cry 5 is such a beautiful game, so you have to like make it look kind of. It's gonna look worse than that game, but it looks kind of off to me.
I see it. I definitely see why you think he looks a little weird.
I don't think it looks bad. I think he just looks off or weird.
Yeah.
But so far, from the little I've played, my favorite so far is, well, I've been playing Resident Evil, so I played the Jill Valentine deck, and that's really fun. Jill's deck, I haven't played many of the other red decks, but Jill's deck is mainly about, pretty much, you get cards that will, okay, sorry, I'm not explaining this well. Okay, so you get cards, you search for cards in your deck, which are pretty much like weapons. So you put down, like, you're trying to find, damn it, I'm doing really bad again. Okay, one more time. You will search for cards in your deck, right, that are pretty much weapons, and those weapons you will add to your characters to make them do more damage. So, for example, you play the Jill Valentine card, and her ability is to find a handgun from your deck. And so you'll get the handgun card, and then you'll equip the handgun card to Jill, which will do like, I think, +4 damage. Or it will do like 4 extra damage to the enemy. And so that's kind of your goal. You're finding weapon cards and then putting them onto your characters, which will do more damage.
So you're just trying to stack damage onto a certain card. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And every character has 3 different like special abilities. You can only pick one. But like, for example, Jill's base ability is to, it's great, I love it, it's to get a rocket launcher pretty much.
Yeah, I see that. I'm looking at the art for it right now, and it's
that's amazing. And that art looks great. And you attach the rocket launcher to one of your units, and it will do 10 damage to your enemy card. And whatever damage is left over, it will hit your enemy. Like their main life, you know? So it's great. And then also you get all the again, you search for weapon cards, right, and stack them. There's the Claire Redfield card, which is kind of like, that's not your main goal, but it's a good like secret weapon that people I think don't consider. Because one of the Claire Redfield cards is, if you have searched through your deck like 3 times and you place the Claire card, she will do an automatic 6 damage without hurting herself. And so you search the deck 3 times, then you place the Claire card, and once you place her in front of like an enemy unit, she will do an automatic 6 damage. And a lot of cards have less than 6 health, so that's like an automatic kill this unit. So pretty much Claire, once you get that token thing up, Claire just serves as a wipe this unit off the field. And it's great. So
I mean, it sounds. I mean, I've heard good things, but everything you're describing to me sounds like no, thank you. Not because it sounds bad, it just sounds like oh god, my head, like too much.
Yeah, but yeah, I played just a little bit of Hearthstone. But the thing with that, I couldn't get connected because it's World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh wait, I like Capcom a lot, so this might stick a little more.
Oh, good. Well, I mean, I hope it does. I mean, the closest thing I ever got into a card game for me personally was the freaking Pokemon one. But even then, I was like, no, thank you. Like,
I forget if I told you, but I played like years of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes,
so,
you did.
Like,
you told me that.
A card game, this kind of card game is like, okay, like I have to get used to these slightly different mechanics, but I understand like the end goal and all that. So yeah, but having a lot of fun. We might get to like a week from now, and I might like go up the ranks and lose a lot because I'm winning a lot right now because I'm just
good.
fighting the lower people.
Yeah,
that
the
don't know
people
how to
who
play.
just started and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I just started. I'm doing pretty well. But
oh well, shoot, John. Okay, just coming up in here with I mean,
I
I'm
might
just
start losing.
clearing
and go,
out these
I don't
scrubs.
care, or I might just go. Well, it's an app on my phone. I usually lose interest quickly.
Yeah.
So we'll see how much this one sticks, but it is fun. It deserved more credit than I initially gave it. So yeah. So last thing I played, Revelations 2. Great game. I really enjoyed it. So that takes place in between Resident Evil 5 and 6. You got Claire, who pretty much like a Saw movie, She gets kidnapped along with a new character, Moira, who's Barry Burton's daughter. They get put into this island, and it's holding with fear, and fear makes people mutate into monsters and all that. So it's really interesting. I liked it. First, that's a story perspective, because it's a smaller story, especially off of RE5 and what we will see with RE6.
Uh-huh.
It's a smaller story, but also it's a bit more of a personal story with Claire and Moira, and I kind of miss that. Like RE1 and 2 are definitely more personal stories.
Yeah.
And Revelations kind of harkens back to that, and I really like that about it. In terms of the gameplay, it's a more tight Revelations, and that was the only big complaint I had about Revelations, except for its weird, convoluted story. But it felt very loose because it was off a 3DS game. I could be imagining it, but Revelations 2 felt a lot tighter, and the combat really clicked with me. It felt like a tighter Revelations, but like a more loose RE4 also, or maybe even a loose RE5,
Mm-hmm.
kind of the same. But yeah, it's really, the movement and everything feels really good in that game. And with the new dodge mechanic, which I thought was such a dodge mechanic in Resident Evil, but it works really well. I really enjoyed that. And yeah, so I thought it played great. I thought the story was more refreshing than what we've gotten recently, or what I've experienced recently in Resident Evil. And of course, Claire was cool in it. So, and Claire and Jill, to be honest, are characters that should be in Resident Evil more and be cooler than the writers have done. So, from RE2 and Code Veronica, from Revelations, that was 10 years. I don't even know. Freaking ridiculous, man.
All the characters.
Why aren't? No, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say all the characters in Resident Evil are kind of dorky though. All of them. They're all great and iconic, but they're all kind of dorky. That's just their thing.
They are, but it's Leon and Chris get a lot of spotlight, but Jill and Claire do not.
Yeah, but Leon and Chris are not the coolest guys in the room. Freaking Chris Redfield punches boulders into the lava and fights Wesker one-on-one, which is cool sounding, right? But it's he's just a guy. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, people love these characters.
Oh yeah, they love them
for good reason.
Oh yeah, for exactly. That's mean.
Capcom, use them, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's the thing. They keep introducing new characters because they don't know what they want to do with certain of them.
Yeah, the new characters are usually lame. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I know.
Which I thought that's why Revelations 2 worked, because it brought Claire back finally, but also brought back Barry, which is really good. Was a really good idea, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And the new characters, and Natalia, I didn't mind her at all, to be honest. I was I have to take care of this kid. I'm gonna hate this. It wasn't that bad. And then Moira, she curses a lot for no reason. However, I thought she was fine, and I thought her arc was actually pretty satisfying, to be honest, with her father and everything. So that was cool. So, official rankings, real quick.
Oh my gosh! Again, here we go.
It's real quick. So, bottom RE5, and then I would say above that RE0. Above that would be RE, I believe, Revelations. I think I have Revelations above 0. And then above that would be RE, okay, I'm not missing anything. Would be RE4, probably. And above that would be, I think, Revelations 2. and then RE1 and RE2 remake.
Wow, RE2 Revelations 2 went up pretty high.
It did. I really
see that
enjoyed
Claire
it.
bias kicking in. Good lord.
It's not a bias, sir.
It's a
just
Claire
the
bias.
truth.
That's a Claire bias, my friend.
I did go in because I think I told you after RE2 remake that was the first RE game I played.
Yeah.
And Revelations 2 did not vibe with me at all. I went like, obviously it's not a fair comparison, but I thought like, I don't know, like how it feels. It's not doesn't feel as good, and Claire feels kind of like that's all the characters we've said. Like every game, the characters are so different every time, and Claire kind of felt the same. But playing more, I was like, no, I can see how Claire would go from like RE2 to this. That makes sense. That does make sense. It's less of a jump from RE1 or like RE3 Jill to RE Revelations. But yeah, I was considering whether I liked Revelations 2 more than RE1. I would have to think about that more, but I would say I at least liked it just a bit more than RE4. Just a bit more.
I don't know how you're able to marathon these games, my friend. You're playing so much Resident Evil. How are you not like completely sick of all of it?
Well, you know, Resident Evil has a bunch of twists and turns, and it's like, what are they gonna do next? And I'm here for the ride, sir. I am here for the ride.
I get it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not even trying to hate on the franchise. I think the franchise is great. Like, I mean, shoot, I own the first Resident Evil. I just haven't played it yet. But it's like
Resident Evil has way more potential, you know, which we've seen with the first like 3 games. And then Capcom just went straight into the woods with it, you know. We were driving down a road, Blake, and then he just veered into the woods. Like, wait, what? But
like every other Capcom franchise, for the most part. So I mean,
exactly.
I don't think there's been a single franchise that hasn't been taken on a ride. Nope, actually, pun completely intended. But so I mean, I don't know. Marvel vs. Capcom got taken on a ride. Street Fighter gets taken on a ride. Mega Man.
Yeah.
Mega Man went off the road, and now they can't find the car that they were in. I mean, until Mega Man 11 showed up, and you know, whatever. But for the record, I own Mega Man 11. I just haven't played it. I don't know, man. Capcom's just taking everybody on a ride, and then here comes Tekken. Here's a card game with Capcom characters you like, right? It's like, what? Hold on. Where's everything else?
That's the thing. It's like I feel like this was brought up before, but
we
the
talked about
legacy, well, like the legacy of certain like franchises or things are like what you remember and like about them, or usually better than like what it is, you know. Like Resident Evil, like you think about RE1, RE2 for the most part, maybe even RE4. But then there's a lot of like RE5 and 6s and Revelations, and you go, yeah, these aren't all masterpieces, but then you think, but Resident Evil, it's iconic, and I love, you know, Leon and Chris and Jill and Claire. But then you play all the games like I am, and I go, yeah, you know, they're not all super winners, but I guess I still like it.
It's like the same thing. It's just a big franchise now that has all this stuff going on for it. So it's like, you know, where there's really no like main character of the franchise. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's Resident Evil is a brand. You know, so yeah, and that's great. I'm glad for it. I think that I think the games are great. Yeah. So
I'll probably go into more of my feelings of the whole series once I finish my marathon on Twitch. And everyone, that is twitch.tv/JPZone97. There'll be a link below.
Link in the description, baby.
So next week, I think this will be up before next week, I'll be playing RE6 co-op. It will be a wild ride. I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it's what I wanted RE5 to be, just freaking stupid. So we'll see how that goes.
Hopefully it's so much dumber than the last one.
I hope so. Like RE has fallen into a pit. Well,
it was in a pit.
It was in a big pit.
Not anymore.
I want to go to the bottom of that pit, baby. I want to go to the bottom, baby.
Dang.
Let's go.
Okay, John.
I'm already kind of there with, again, the RE CGI movies. But I want to see where it came from. Like, show me RE6. Let's go. I'm looking forward to it. But, yeah, so that's really all I've been watching and playing. But, Blake, speaking of Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. I know.
We got RE3 remake, baby.
Well, we don't have it.
We got it, baby.
Well, we don't. I mean,
we got it.
We got it.
I was gonna try to subtly build up. I kind of did, but I was like, you know what? I'm too excited. We got official leaks, Blake, of Resident Evil 3 remake.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling?
Well, John, I can sum it up in I feel as though we got leaks for RE3 remake. That's how I feel right now.
Damn you.
That's how I feel.
So Blake, can you remind the audience real quick of what happened with these official leaks?
What?
What happened? Know what happened?
Honestly, I was gonna ask you. I don't really understand. All I know from my knowledge, it's like PlayStation Store. The store puts something out, like an icon, like official art of the game, which is what we're looking at. Which is like Nemesis in the background, Jill, and I believe the guy's name is Carlos.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But who cares? Jill Valentine.
Tapping. Sorry. Cool.
And so like, that's all I know, and like that was like an official. It was like a leak, but it was like they just kind of did it, and I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know the whole story. All I know is that RE3 remake has been coming for a long time. It's been expected because, you know, Capcom's not really hiding that they want to do it. But that's all I know. So I got nothing on the situation. I kind of thought you would know more about this than I did.
It's kind of like what you just said. Pretty much what happened. It was so the last few weeks. So like first, I'm gonna go back. I've kind of been on an unofficial like Resident Evil 3 remake like watch since like RE2 remake. Every like 2-3 weeks, I would say I just type in RE3 remake like news and I see what's up, because you know we've gotten hit. Like it's not even a secret, like I don't think it's meant to be a secret, but Capcom has pretty much been like, you know, is RE3 gonna happen, hint hint, wink wink, and it's like, okay, well, we know what's happening,
just make the game, dang it.
The last few weeks, I guess the last month, I would say there's been more rumors. Like I forget the exact person, but there's a YouTuber that I don't know, like his validation, or is that his credentials or anything, but he was like, yo, reported gonna come in 2020, and then I think Eurogamer also came out and kind of reported that it's also supposed to come in 2020. But with these kind of things, I take that with a grain of salt all the time. When people say, oh, it's reportedly gonna come out, or it's reportedly being made by Capcom, I'm like, okay, like it probably is, but I'm not taking any of these claims very seriously, you know. But as Blake said, pretty much what happened. It was not supposed to happen. I think pretty much what happened was RE3 remake. It was probably told to like a bunch of people, including PlayStation, but then like there was a marketing like mess up, and they probably accidentally posted it on the PlayStation Store. So yeah, they placed like the icon or like an official, like I think it was an official listing. But at the very least, what included was a cover picture and like an icon.
Yeah,
for Resident Evil 3 remake.
Which I'm looking at right now.
And it was taken down, but it was an official thing. It wasn't like someone went, yo, look at this sick like screenshot of Resident Evil 3 remake. It wasn't just a random person. It was an official thing that happened on accident. Yeah. Which has happened before with other games. And yeah, so that it shows us Resident Evil 3 remake is a thing. It is real. And since it has a cover art and was supposed to have a listing and everything, I think that pretty much confirms it is further along than we thought it was. So, wait, were you going to say something?
Oh, yeah. I was going to offer up my prediction as to when this will come out, but I think that you probably want to go a little... You probably want to keep going.
Don't worry. I put up official research on this. I looked at all what people are saying and all that, and I have my own timeline and everything. All right. But real quick first, I want to say, Blake, what do you think of this cover art?
I don't. I think it looks really good. Like, I mean, shoot, because I mean, the original box art. Let me look at the original box art. Because if I remember correctly, the original box art was kind of just like Nemesis plastered on the cover, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And it like wasn't anything crazy. But this one, I really like. I like the way Nemesis looks. Number one, Nemesis looks more terrifying than he has ever. Like it look like he has a nose now, like a weird deformed nose.
Yeah.
And his eye is like all jacked up and stuff. But who the frick cares about Nemesis when you got Jill Valentine on the cover? Oh my god, Jill looks weird.
Jill looks different.
She looks super different from what... But she does... I don't know. Like, if you told me that was Jill, I'd be like, that's Jill? Like, not in a bad way.
I would agree.
And it's not in a bad way. It's just like... I don't know. I think it's just because we've jumped... Like, I mean, shoot. Jill's last appearance was what? Resident Evil 5, right?
5, yeah.
So it's like... Yo, where you been, girl? Like, so I mean, like, seeing her from going from 5 to this is like, oh my gosh, girl, you... Wow. That's Jill.
Yeah.
So
well,
she
also,
looks...
they've used like the same like look of Jill since RE1 remake.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's been like that for years. And so seeing this different, actress or whatever, doing the capture for Jill, looks really different.
It does look really different. So I mean, but shoot, it worked out for Claire and Leon. So I'm not like, oh, Jill doesn't look like Jill. It's she looks good.
Yeah.
So, but I mean. Obviously, if you guys can tell from the sound of my voice, I'm not a huge Resident Evil guy. I respect the franchise. I think it's fun. I respect Jon's passion for it, so I'm not like 100% invested in this. I'm glad it's coming. I'm glad this was a thing. So I mean, yeah, it looks great. I think this icon is pretty much the best way to kind of release it. Like, it showcases pretty much everything Resident Evil 3 is known for. So.
For my feelings on it, I don't have a huge like connection or like memory of what Nemesis like all the different versions that have been over the years, all the redesigns. So I wasn't like, yo, this Nemesis looks super different from the rest. I was like, well, and I've looked at the differences now, and it does look kind of different, but I think it's there's some details that are different, but I think for the most part it's still Nemesis,
Yes.
Which I think really works.
Hmm.
And yeah, of course, Jill. In the original Jill, she wore a tube top and a skirt and she had a sweatshirt wrapped around her waist.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the 90s, so yeah. But so they make her look kind of more like Lara Croft now, with the tank top and everything.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting.
And we can't see, like what she's wearing on her lower half, but I assume probably pants. If not pants, then like normal shorts, But probably pants, I would assume.
Yeah, but there'll be a once you beat the game, probably be a bonus for you probably get to play as her, like they did in the original. Like they did in RE3 remake, sorry.
Yeah, 100%. And then Carlos, completely different. Looks completely different. However, he looks way cooler, I think. Mm-hmm. He looks really cool. But yeah, at least from what I see, it's not just that Jill looks different. They make her look really like tough, I think. Well,
I mean, shoot, she's seen some crap, bro. Spencer Mansion did her hard.
That's true, but I feel like, except for maybe like the RE5 version, like in the DLC, Lost in Nightmare.
Oh,
with
yeah,
the cat
yeah.
and everything. I feel like they never make her look like super tough, At least from what I think. Like,
I don't know.
I'm not saying I don't think she looks cool. I feel like they never make her like she has seen shit, Like,
I mean, to be fair, no, but none of the Resident Evil characters have. Like they've seen ish, right? But it's like they all act like it's just Tuesday again.
Yeah, I think maybe
that's
more
kind
what
of
I mean.
That's my thing. Or it's like, I don't know.
I think that's more what I mean, because like in RE5 she looks like kind of like ready to go, like she's ready to get some action going.
Yeah, But
kind of saying, I think, with this, like, she looks determined. She's got like scuffs and everything all over her body. Like, she looks not just like an RE1 or like even RE3, where it's like, oh well, things are happening to her and she's kind of experiencing this stuff, kinda, you know. But here it looks like no, she's gonna face it and she's gonna fight Nemesis and she's gonna tackle everything she's facing head on, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's more what I mean.
My thing is, I don't know anything about RE3, like, story-wise. All I know is Jill's in it and stuff like that. But, like, I always kind of thought that the story was, like, she's chilling in Raccoon City, and then, you know, she's just going out for a night on the town, and then crap happens, and then that's why she's dressed like that. That's what I always thought. Because, like, she looks like she's in civilian clothes, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I have absolutely no idea, but that's what I always just thought. Whether or not that's true is like, you know.
Well, RE3 kind of just throws you in. Like, there is a little cutscene where Jill's like, things are happening out in the city. I'm gonna go, like, I think she's pretty much like, I'm gonna go escape the city and everything.
Okay, that makes sense.
But it kind of just throws you in.
I'm sure this will give more context, because like that's what RE2 remake did for RE2.
From the little I've seen of RE3, it feels more like, oh, things are kind of just happening to Jill, and maybe that's just like the way the game looks and everything.
Yeah, that's what I always
feel
thought.
like she's never really in control, you know. But here it looks like she's more in control at the very least. But I think this looks super rad.
Damn,
and
he bust out the R word.
Looks rad. So what happened when, what was it, like 10 o'clock, Blake? 10 o'clock, you sent me this.
I sent you a link to Game Explain, yeah.
Blake sent me a link to Game Explain talking about Resident Evil 3 Remake. And I had just woken up. I hadn't heard anything about this. And when Blake told me, my reaction was pretty much, I'm rolling back a little from the mic. I was like, oh my god! Oh my god! Kind of that reaction, you know? I was like, I was super hyped. It took me like, for like the next hour, maybe even 2, I was like, oh my god, we're getting Resident Evil 3 Remake. Oh my god. Like, we gotta record a podcast. We gotta record. Like, I need to talk about this.
I know you were messing me up and down the wall. Like, I remember you went crazy on Twitter. I saw you like yo, and then a new message like I still can't get over it. Yo,
remake. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I know despite the fact that you never played the original game, you're the more excited about this, and I've seen some Resident Evil fans excited about this.
Let's just say I was thinking about this in like the hour or 2, right? That was freaking out. I don't think that. I'm going to clarify this after I say this statement. I don't think I've been this like super excited about like a new game being like announced or coming out since like Fire Emblem Fates.
Yeah.
When I was in college. And the reason for that is because like there are other games, like I'm thinking about my favorite games, right? In the last few years. Nier Automata was something I was like, this was interesting. Like I had no idea what Nier is, but I'll play it. And then I loved it, right? Persona 5, that thing was announced and delayed like so many times, and it was something I always knew was coming out, but I was like, well, I don't know when it is, so I'll be excited when it comes out. Even like Smash Ultimate, like Blake, like it's me and you talking. We know a new Smash game is coming out for Switch, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when, and of course when it was announced, I was like, this was dope. Like, this was awesome. That's probably the closest I would say to this level of hype. But I would say since like Fire Emblem Fates, this is me freaking out at like an announcement and I can't wait until this game comes out to play it. And of course, everybody, I'm gonna be streaming this bad boy.
Well, you better finish your goddamn marathon then.
Oh, I will. I mean, well, we'll talk about it in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But RE2 Remake is one of my favorite games. Probably my favorite survival horror game, or just horror game in general. There's a lot of different genres in horror. But I love RE2 Remake, and I think this is going to be amazing, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I think that this will be either on par or, if not better than RE2 remake. I think it'll hinge a little bit more on if you like the characters here more than you like on RE2.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing you, I think at the end, I think you're gonna be like, this is one of the greatest games I've ever played. But because of the Claire bias.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, RE2 remake is what made me love Claire, right?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
And like, I like Jill a lot. I do, but I thought about this too. Like the early Resident Evil games, like, well, I guess games in general, like games have really come a long way in terms of how they tell their narrative and how they have character moments and how they treat characters. You know, like they give them more arcs rather than this is just the character you play as.
Yes.
And RE2 remake really, in my opinion, gave more life to those characters like Leon and Claire.
Yeah.
And I like Jill a lot, but I feel like the older games and RE5 didn't had the opportunity, but it didn't do much with Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Like the early games, that was made a while ago. So I feel like this is like the first game that will be able to have like more awesome moments with Jill and have more of her personality show, or whatever personality they give her in this game. So I think this game, more than any other Resident Evil, has the potential to make me love Jill as much as I love Claire. So I'm excited. I don't know. I can't say if I think it will be better than RE2 remake, but I think at the very least it will be like slightly less amazing, I think, than RE2 remake. But I think it has the potential.
At the least.
Exactly, at the least.
Yeah.
Like, I'll love it, but I'll go, well, I like RE2 remake slightly more, But I think, like you said, has the potential to be easily as good or maybe even better. My question to you, do you think it will be just one storyline with Jill? Or do you think they will split us up and have us play as Jill and Carlos?
Seeing as how successful RE2 remake is, I don't see them going back to the old formula where you play through the same campaign with just different stipulations. Like Jill has more carry space but less defense or something like that. To me, from my perspective, it just makes sense to do what you did with RE2, where it's like you have this completely separate campaign with all this, like and Chris and Claire generally go through. Sorry, not Chris and Claire. Sorry, Leon and Claire. Leon and Claire generally go through like the same type of scenario, but like it's
like slightly different.
Yeah, it's slightly different, and I think that's enough to warrant a whole remake and two, a whole new purchase. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that RE3 is definitely going to follow in the footsteps of RE2 remake. I just don't see them, especially since that game's getting like nominated for Game of the Year, since it's making buku bucks and selling like hotcakes. Like I do not think that they're going to go back to like a traditional like Resident Evil thing where you play through the same campaign just with different stats and stuff like that. Like I definitely think you'll get a different campaign as Carlos and a different campaign as Jill, but my money's on everybody's going to go to Jill's first. So so
see, because I think that's like 100% possible, but I think I'm leaning more towards it might just be a Jill playthrough. Like I feel like, I don't know, because Leon and Claire, well, that was, could you play as Carlos in RE3? I don't even know, to be honest. I don't think you could, right?
I have no idea.
It was mainly, I think it was mainly just Jill, again, from what I know. But like Leon and Claire, it makes sense to have those two characters playable. I don't know if Carlos, from what I know, I don't know if Carlos is a character people are hammering to play as and have their own like campaign with him.
But that could be a new opportunity for Resident Evil 3 remake to do something unique and different with that. So
yeah, like I wouldn't mind for either, whether they do just Jill or Jill and Carlos. But I think maybe they might, again, they might just go, hey, RE2 remake, people love it, let's do two campaigns, or well, let's stick with what RE3 was and let's do just Jill. I lost my train of thought for a second. Also, I think maybe because we don't know how long this has been in development. I guess my question is, how long do you think this has been in development, Blake?
If you want my honest opinion, I think that this bad boy was probably in some form of pre-production towards the tail end of Resident Evil 2 remakes wrapping up development.
Okay,
So
I would agree.
I feel like they would be stupid not to think that an RE2 remake, something that people have been begging for years, wasn't going to be successful and warrant an RE3 remake, right? Like, because as soon as something's good, everyone's going to ask, well, where's the next one? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that this has probably been in some form of pre-production or planning or something like that.
Yeah.
At that juncture.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I know some people think maybe it was in development at the same time. I don't think so. I think that is a huge undertaking. I think maybe the idea was presented.
Yeah.
When RE2 remake was presented, well, maybe we'll do RE3 as well. We'll think about it. But then I think either halfway through RE2 remake or like you said at the tail end, they said, well, this is looking real good. We don't know how much assets they will reuse. They'll probably use the RPD in some form.
I mean, I think they'll reuse it. Not a majority, but I think a pretty significant.
A decent amount.
Yes, and I think that'll ease development, which is good. So.
Exactly. So I think they were like, well, we have a lot of the assets. Let's just do RE3 remake. And I think because of where we think the development was, I think maybe that's why we will only get one campaign. Especially because I think it's kind of confirmed we're going to get in 2020, I don't think anyone's questioning that. So I think it makes more sense that tail end of RE2 remake, some reused assets, and it's just going to be one campaign. I think it makes that, for me, that makes sense as to why it will be coming out so soon. Because RE2 remake just came out a year ago.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to say, but in my opinion, I think it will be one campaign, and that it will be maybe as long as one of the campaigns in RE2. Because one of the campaigns in RE2 takes, at least for me, it took me around 10 hours, a little less. I feel like this could, I don't know, it could be like that. Because RE3 is a shorter game, the original, than RE2. It's known for kind of feeling like a Resident Evil 2.5 in a way.
Well, because it takes place around the same time.
Yeah. And because everybody says, well, it's a really short game, maybe 5 hours. I think it will be longer than that. I don't think it'll be super short. I think they will add stuff to make it a more beefy experience. But I feel like it won't be as long as RE2 remake. That's just my opinion. Just because of how soon it's coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, oh man, this is a tough one.
Again, we don't know when it's coming out, but
Resident
again, 2020, that's still really soon.
RE2 remake came out earlier this year, February?
I think either end of January or beginning mid-February.
Yeah, okay. Shoot. I don't know. I just feel like if they did one campaign, just Jill, and it was as long as maybe 10, maybe they beef it up to 12 hours, right? I feel like people would be satisfied, but I can't help but feel like people would be like, well, Resident Evil 2 had 2 whole campaigns. Well, actually, more than 2. It had 4, technically. And then on top of DLC. So I just feel like Resident Evil 3, RE3 remake, has to have that model injected into it. Just because, RE2 did so well, I feel like they just would probably take more from that than not. I don't know. I could see what you're saying in terms of the release date and stuff, but if RE2 remake came out around February, they've had at least a solid year or 2 to work on this, and given the fact that it does take place during the majority of like RE2's storyline and stuff like that, and like they could reuse assets in places and things like that. I just feel like this game's gonna be a lot bigger than I think the original would have been, because I don't know if I'm 100% on that, but I just feel like that makes the most sense to my brain. And again, I haven't touched RE3, I haven't touched a Resident Evil, so I'm just going off of what John's shown me from playing on his Twitch.
Because like most Resident Evil games are not that long.
No, they're not, but I feel like 2 campaigns is just
like, because again, like, I think it will be a more beefy and longer experience.
Yes.
Than the old one, but I think also the original has a reputation of kind of feeling like supplemental to RE2.
Yeah.
Because again, it's one of the shortest, maybe the shortest game in the series. Not too sure.
Yeah.
But it has that reputation, and I feel like, I'm not saying, well, that's their excuse for doing a shorter one, but I feel like that's what RE3 is. And so I think while they will improve it and make it longer and a better experience, I feel like it might still have that in a way. I don't know. Well, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying, yo, no, this game is gonna be trash. It's gonna just be like 5 hours long. I'm saying,
even
like,
if it is, I don't think length of time determines how much of a quality experience a game is. Because some of the best games I've ever played are short. So
I will still play this game like multiple times and still get my worth out of it.
Yeah, but that's my thing. I feel like they're expecting people to play the crap out of it, and I feel like they would probably put some new stuff in. Not new stuff, but like, stuff that like makes sense. So I mean, we'll see. I
agree.
Only time will tell, honestly. But my money is gonna go on. I think that there will be at least 2 campaigns.
Okay.
Because I think now, number one, because Carlos is on the front, and I get that if, like, Jill's the prominent character, but I feel like they wouldn't put him on the front if he wasn't.
That's a good point too.
That's just me.
That is a good point.
But then, so that's me. That's what I think. Whether or not I'm right remains to be seen. So.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for how this whole game will be. We'll see. Well, we're gonna still be talking about it in a second, but Nemesis, I think it'll be interesting what they do with him, because Nemesis is known for, chasing you throughout multiple parts of the level, and
with a
always
freaking rocket launcher.
And like we talked about this before, but RE2, like, people think Mr. X did that, but he really didn't. It was just a few rooms.
Yeah.
But he would show up not really randomly, but people thought it was.
Yeah.
But the Nemesis really was that, and then with the remake, they made Mr. X more like Nemesis.
Yeah.
Where he really does follow you throughout the stage, and
throughout like almost the entire game.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how they make Nemesis more of a threat than Mr. X in the remake. That's what intrigues me.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that too. I mean, Mr. X was probably one of the most popular things from RE2 Remake because of just how absolutely daunting he was, and how, like, he just shows up when you least want him to. Nemesis is going to be interesting. I feel like maybe they're just going to make him significantly more oppressive and aggressive.
That's what I think too.
Because, shoot, if Marvel vs. Capcom is the only thing I have to go off of what I do for Nemesis, this man's got some freaking crazy crap. He's got, like, rocket launchers. He's got, like, tentacles. I mean, shoot. So I think, because, like, Mr. X just kind of comes up to you and just has to hit you, right? Yeah. Whereas, Nemesis is, he's a big meanie. He's got crazy stuff. So, I mean, I think they're just going to make him utilize that stuff a lot more.
Yeah, like, I don't think he's going to be super, like, I don't think his AI is going to be, like, super, super complex where he, like, hides and stuff, No. Because, like, Mr. X, the feeling you get is, he chases you all the time, but he's kind of like a big wall, like an obstacle you have to get around, but you also feel like Mr. X, he's not, like, super, super oppressive, but he is stalking you the entire time. Yeah. And it's scary, like, when you hear his footsteps, like, you don't know if it's, like, above you, or it's in the next room, or it's, like, behind you. And so he does chase you, but it's more like it's scary, like he's like a stalker, right?
Yeah.
This one, I think it's Nemesis is just gonna, he's not gonna be like a wall. He's gonna be like a tank, freaking chasing you down.
Excuse me.
Like
yeah.
less like where is he, and like oh I gotta run like right now.
Yeah, I think that the way he chases you around the stages and stuff like that, I feel as though he won't be as much of a hunter as Mr. X is, because Mr. X like chases you from Kingdom Come to wherever.
Yeah.
I feel like Resident Evil 3, I feel like Nemesis is going to be a little dumber, but I think that when he is in the same room with you, he's going to be way more aggressive.
Okay, that makes
I
sense.
think he's just going to start hitting you with everything. Like I feel like he's like, as soon as he comes in the room, he's probably going to be loading up his rocket launcher or like trying to grab you with tentacles from across the room and stuff like that. That's what I think. Just to make it fair, because like if he's as aggressive as he is if he's as aggressive as Mr. X, but he has more tools, I feel like that's going to be so goddamn hard. But maybe that's the point. I don't know.
So just like a different like method of doing it.
Yeah, I think he'll be a little dumber, maybe a little slower, but when he is in the same like place as you, he's just going to be just impossible.
Okay, yeah, that does make sense.
But again,
yeah, we'll see.
I don't know anything.
Like the only hint I have is when like in the RPD, when you go through the shower room, there's it's like 3 or 4 walls that are broken. Yeah, and that's like, well, that Nemesis did that. Yeah. So that's why I think he's not gonna be like a stalker. He's gonna be like, no, I'm breaking through these walls. Yeah. And I'm gonna go at you.
Yeah. Unlike Mr. X, who just comes to the door very nicely. Yeah, I definitely see Nemesis just being like Kool-Aid man, just busting in like,
it's less of planning around Mr. X and more like, oh, Nemesis is in my face like right now.
I need to leave. Yeah. So it'll be fun. So, regardless, I think Nemesis is gonna bring a whole lot of terror and fun to the game. So, and I'm excited to see, what kind of hijinks come out of that, because that'll be funny.
Yeah. So sorry about all my rambling about RE3.
No, you're fine. You're passionate about it, sir.
I'm super excited. A lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss. Lots to predict. But the biggest prediction, Blake, is when do we think this game will be coming out? So first, well, I'm sure we'll have the same answer. I think. Well, maybe not.
I have two answers really.
Well, for its release date, you think?
Yeah. So I have one that's
hold off on that.
Okay, I won't.
Hold off on that, just for a second.
Okay.
Well, my first question is, when the heck are we gonna get official announcement on this game? Like, we all know it's a thing now, but when are we gonna see like a trailer? When are we going to see gameplay? Right. So, I have different sources that have said like things, and I think will help me pinpoint when I think we'll get more stuff. Right. Okay. So first, I think like a day or two ago, as of this recording, Jeff Keighley from the Game Awards, people asked him like, oh well, RE3 Remake was leaked. Are there any like other games that are gonna be shown at Game Awards that are leaked? And he's like, well, he said pretty much RE3 Remake was never meant to be at the Game Awards, so pretty much nothing has been leaked from the Game Awards. Of course, he could be lying, and because I think a lot of people expected that it would be shown at Game Awards, because that's the next big thing people are watching. But I'm inclined to believe him. I think there's a good chance it would not have been shown. But at the same time, it was like a week or two ago reported that Capcom, that was the big thing, Capcom is reported to have 2 unannounced playable games at Jump Festa. And that was the big event that everybody said, well, most likely one of those 2 games is RE3 Remake. And Jump Festa takes place from December 21st to the 22nd, which is 2 weeks from now. However, at the same time, Blake, the Tokyo Game Show takes place next week from the 14th to the 15th. Now, I don't remember a lot from past Tokyo Game Shows. I don't know how many things are announced versus what games are just there. But, well, that's all I'm going to say right now. And so, another source, Daniel Ahmad, also known as Zhuge, Zhuge on Twitter. He is pretty much he's a senior analyst at Nico Partners, who like does market research and consulting for like games in Asian markets. He's on some articles people refer to him as an insider. He's not just like a random Joe Schmo, random YouTuber. I don't know what his credentials are. I'm not saying that everything he says is true. I don't know what past reportings or things he's said or predicted that have come true. I'm just stating the facts of what people say. So he said that, or he hinted that RE3 remake might be revealed at a different event before the Game Awards. Just like a different big event that's not the Game Awards. But before then. Also, PlayStation usually has their PSX event around this time in December, whether it's the first or like second week of December. But it is coming up, and that is why people also think that maybe what this means is we will be getting, instead of PSX, because there is no PSX this year, that we will be getting a Sony State of Play, like live stream video, sometime next week before the Game Awards. So the Game Awards is the 12th of December. So some people think anytime before then we might get a State of Play that will show off a trailer of RE3 Remake. But again, there's also the Tokyo Game Show, which takes place the 14th and the 15th. And Jump Festa takes place the week after that, from the 21st to the 22nd. So, sir, with all this info I have given, and it's a lot of info, are you following me, Blake?
Yes. Okay,
so it's not even like a big I got the exact date. I'm saying I think it's a guarantee, Blake, that we will be seeing something. We'll be getting a trailer, an official trailer for RE3 Remake. Whether it's gameplay or not, doesn't matter. We will be getting an official trailer sometime next week. Whether it's Monday through Wednesday next week in a State of Play, I think it's at the very least guaranteed we will be getting a reveal at the end of the week. At the very least, at Tokyo Game Show, sir. Now, will we be getting an announcement at Tokyo Game Show? Or will it be a State of Play? And we'll see maybe a bit more of it at Tokyo Game Show? I don't know, Blake. However, again, Capcom is supposed to be having a playable game, 2 playable unannounced games at Jump Festa, which takes place a week after my, proposed announcements time. Is this a coincidence, Blake? I think not, Blake. So, all I'm saying, the nitty gritty, I think it's guaranteed. At some point next week, we'll be seeing an official trailer. And then, I think we will be seeing some gameplay at Jump Festa the week after. That is my prediction, sir. And that's all I have to say.
My money is on... we would get a Resident Evil 3 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Now hear me out, okay, John? This is going to sound crazy. But
alright.
It's not December.
Wait, stop there.
It's not December.
Stop there, sir.
It's not December. It's January. Nintendo holds a Nintendo Direct.
Oh my god.
Now hear me out. Hear me out, John.
I hate you.
Hear me out. So first...
Wait, sir, can we stop this right now?
Why?
I had to go to the restroom.
Ruining my...
No, you said something. You started. Just start off that thought, and I'll take a picture of the timeline. Because you did a.
I'm not editing this out. Are you crazy? Heck no.
But that's good.
No, everyone's gonna know that you ruined my story.
All right, I'm going to the restroom then. I'll be right back.
Go before.
Just, don't
Go
don't
before.
say anything.
This man ruining everything.
Hello, I'm back. 1 sec. I have to sit down. Like you can hear Blake trash talking me. Hello, I'm back. I apologize, sir. I drank some water and I was holding it in. I apologize.
Well, so have I. I've been drinking a lot of water and I'm holding it in.
No, like it was.
Get good, John. Just get good, all right?
Bad. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry, audience.
No, it's fine.
All right. Well, yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. Go on.
Never mind. So okay.
No,
so I, if I'm being completely honest, so forget the Nintendo Direct thing. I was gonna say that alongside RE3 trailer, we'll be showcasing Jill for Smash, but whatever.
Were you actually?
No, I'm joking. That was a joke.
I wish.
But it was dumped down the drain. So, okay.
I'm sorry.
So.
Damn. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Hold on. Oh God. Sorry. Okay. If I'm being completely honest, the Game Awards to me just makes way too much sense. Like, the fact that someone came out...
But Jeff Keighley told me no.
I know, but
he
like, I know, but like, come on. It just, to me, it's like, it's perfect. RE2 is at the Game Awards.
You're right.
Multiple times over. It's being nominated for the
You're right.
biggest award, which is Game of the Year. I just feel like it doesn't make sense for them to not announce it there. Like, why? Like, and the Game Awards has some hype announcements, but it's like, I just feel like that doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me that RE3...
Are you telling me Jeff Keighley is lying to me? He's lying in my face?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. Here's my thing. I hope so.
He's like an influencer. He can't lie to me.
I hope so.
You hope he's lying to you.
I hope he's lying to you. I hope he's lying to you up and down the street.
Wow. I have to tell Jeff Keighley.
Here's my thing. It just makes too much sense. It just makes too much sense.
You're right, it does.
For them to not... For them to have it there. So, like, the fact that they're saying, like, oh, well, it was never planned. Like, what? No. Okay. I just feel like that doesn't make sense. But on the off chance that it does not... That Jeff Keighley is telling the truth and RE3 was never planned to be at the Game Awards, then honestly, being completely honest, I feel like the other three options, A State of Play, Tokyo Game Show, or what was the other one?
Jump Festa?
Yeah, Jump Festa. I feel like those three are completely underwhelming. Like, A State of Play is good. It's coming along for Sony, but they're not Nintendo Directs, right?
But Resident Evil 2 Remake was premiered at a Sony conference.
It was, but that was at PSX, right?
No, that was during E3.
Well, that's what I mean. That's like rivaling PSX. Like, PSX and E3 were Sony's big two things. State of Play, I don't know. I always thought State of Plays were just like, here's an update on some game that we announced.
You're right. Remember they had that big Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer during the last State of Play.
Yeah, but when did they debut Final Fantasy VII Remake? At E3.
E3.
Yeah. So it's like, to me, it's like, I'm not saying State of Play is a bad option. I just don't think it's not the most, like, and to be fair, if they did premiere Resident Evil 3 on A State of Play, I think that would hugely impact State of Play's, like, audience members.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
See, that's fair, but I feel like it like undercuts. I know Tokyo Game Show is not as hype as E3, but I feel like Tokyo Game Show is more where we see Japanese produced games, like, every time. I feel like they're always shown at Tokyo Game Show. Like, I feel like a lot of games that are not at E3, a lot of games are usually shown at Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't remember what was shown last time at Tokyo Game Show.
I would, well, I don't know. But I know it's not as big as E3, but I feel like it's also because, like where we are, I feel like we don't view Tokyo Game Show as important.
E3 for America is huge, but like
Yeah.
E3 for Japan's probably like, oh, cool, But I imagine Tokyo Game Show is huge for them, but for us it's like, oh, Tokyo Game Show. So I mean, like,
because I think there have been a few times where I'm like, oh, they didn't either they didn't show this. I think like Kingdom Hearts, I think was kind of like that a year or two ago, where they didn't really show Kingdom Hearts really at E3, but then Tokyo Game Shows when they brought up like another a big trailer for it. Which like really surprised me at the time, but I went, well, it makes sense because it's Square Enix, the Japanese-based company.
I'm trying to see what has been announced prior in the Tokyo Game Show. I mean, Cyberpunk 2020 is going to be there, which that's interesting. I believe that's a Polish, European developed.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know if I can come up with a prediction because like it's all too close together. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I mean, we're getting an RE3 announcement sometime within the next week, at least 2.
Yeah, I think like we're pretty much saying it's happening next week.
It's happening like at some point either next week, at the latest next week after that.
Okay, so well, I think it will be shown. A trailer will be shown next week as of this recording, because like the Jump Festa thing, I don't think that's why. I think it's gonna be officially announced next week, but we'll see gameplay the week after.
Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that.
Remember, like, yeah, because people said, well, it makes sense that we'll see a trailer at Jump Festa, but now that we know, well, they have a listing already. It was probably going to be they're going to show it sometime next week, whether at any of these 3 different things, and then people are hyped for it. Then the next week, Capcom did say, well, it's reported. Capcom's reported to have 2 unannounced games. One of them will probably be RE3 Remake, and they'll show gameplay.
Okay. My question is, I'm curious as to what the other game's going to be, because it has to be something pretty big and also far along enough into development. So,
well, we always think it has to be something pretty big, but then it may not be,
Well, that's my thing, though, right? Like, RE3 is obviously going to be the big deal, and I'm wondering if the smaller game is still going to be something that's like, oh, Mega Man, or something like that, you know what I mean? Like Mega Man 12, hey, that'd be cool.
So I was thinking, like, what fighting games? Like, no, like, come on, they're not getting shit.
Darkstalkers? There have been rumors that Capcom wants to work on lesser IPs or like forgotten IPs, and I was like, and everyone was like, oh, new Darkstalkers. I'm like, well, okay, shoot, if new Darkstalkers comes out, I'm down for it. I'll give it a shot, So I mean, I'm curious as to what the other game is. RE3 Remake, like, I mean, shoot, this game's gonna blow up regardless. It's just,
I'm pretty sure we'll see it at Jump Festa for gameplay. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
So of these 3, you think Game Awards? It was shown at the Game Awards.
I feel like if it was shown at the Game Awards, it would be perfect because RE2 Remake is in the game is at the Game Awards, being nominated for the most prestigious title of the year. To me, it just makes too much sense. But if it doesn't, I'm not gonna cry. I'm just gonna be like, wow, that's kind of a missed opportunity, honestly. But
okay, so
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, but I believe in my boy Jeff. I believe in him. He ain't a liar, Blake. He wouldn't lie to my face like that.
Has he lied before?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
I mean, if he I don't know. The man's just trying to protect his show, so.
Well, I think the safest is like, well, because I can see Game Awards, it being shown, it not being shown. Like, I think it's a toss-up whether it will be. I think the safest is like Tokyo Game Show, not just in terms of like the prediction itself, but the event. Again, like I could see it being shown off there or like announced there. But then also in terms of the prediction, it's safe because it's like, well, it's the end of the week, and it's like, like it's gonna come out next or be shown next week. By the end of the week, it'll be there. But I'm going for the dangerous option, Blake. I'm going for a PSX sometime before the Game Awards. That's my prediction.
A PSX? You mean a state of play?
You're right.
I was gonna
yes,
say, whoa, hold on, my friend.
Then no, then it's not happening with the PSX.
Man, PSX, frick, miss you.
But yeah, I think it will be shown in a state of play before the Game Awards. So we will see next time we record. We will see when that happens. See who was right. And the winner, it's the other one. A Lifetime of Servitude. Yeah.
Anyway, so when do you think it would? But then I assume the next question is going to be, when do you think it's going to come out?
God, that's the bigger question.
See, I don't think that's that hard.
When do you think?
Like I said, I have two predictions. I have my pie in the sky, which is super unlikely, but I feel like it could happen if they really want to do it, but I don't think they will. And my other one, which is probably a little bit more realistic. My pie in the sky, I'll start with that because it's stupid. They're going to announce it. You get to play it by February. Same exact release date as RE2 Remake. And the reason I say this is because the icon got put on PlayStation Store, and usually it's like, why'd you put that on there? Why'd you do that? And it's like, well, we're getting ready to launch the frickin' game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that's stupid, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But my more realistic one is probably, it might get delayed till 2021, but I think if we're being optimistic, it'll probably come out around spooky time October.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. So you presented really, like, let me continue. You presented like the two kind of really big options, that there are.
Yeah.
I would say. It's not gonna be like middle of the year. It will be either end of the year, like around October.
Yeah.
Or beginning. I was gonna say like March, I think would be a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like your feeling of same day as RE2 Remake. I'm going with that choice, sir.
Wow, as you're realistic? I thought that was horribly unrealistic.
Well, realistic, I would say March. I'm going for March. That's my realistic one, sir.
Okay.
You're right, never mind. I'm changing my answer. I'm going to March. I think sometime, maybe either end of March, maybe end of March. I'm going for that.
Okay.
But March.
Okay.
Yes.
My hope is that it doesn't get delayed. That would suck.
I feel like
I don't think
it would be, just because, like we said, like it's probably in development for a while. At least for me, I don't think it'll be a huge game, so I think that helps. And then I think they probably know how ready it is because of how successful RE2 Remake is.
Yeah.
I feel like if they thought, well, we want to go for like 2020, I feel like they probably know it's ready for 2020. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That's the hope. I'm curious as to what... I need to know what the second game that they're going to have a playable demo of. Mm-hmm. Because then I'll be able to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I know Capcom's a big company and they have a ton of different teams. Yeah. But if it's something as big as like DMC6 and it's like, oh, hold on a second. I know it's not. But I'm just saying like something of that caliber is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying DMC6. I'm just saying like something that had that budget, that had that scope.
I have a feeling it'll be something smaller.
It will be. It doesn't make sense for them to release like Resident Evil and then freaking I don't know what other Capcom could do that's like
Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6 would. Street Fighter 6 is still a niche title though. Like Street Fighter's a huge franchise, right? But it's still like
it's not neat. It's not.
No.
No.
It's the biggest fighting game in the world, other than maybe Smash Brothers. But
yeah.
But like my thing is like. I think more people are going to be like Resident Evil over Street Fighter. Capcom would be stupid to release Street Fighter 6.
I know they would. No. Yeah. I put that as my unrealistic one. Like
I'm not saying.
No, they would be stupid. I agree.
Yeah. Like they wouldn't do that. But for me, it's like it has to be something relatively small. It has to be like a Mega Man game or.
I could say a Mega Man game.
Or like if it is a fighting game, then I think a Darkstalkers makes sense because it's like a niche.
I was about to say one of those two makes sense. No, I was saying I agree with you. One of those makes sense.
Yeah, I mean I don't know what else. I mean unless they drudged up like a really old, like a new Strider game or like a new Bionic Commando. Excuse me, like things like that. Like I'd be like, okay, like that makes sense. But like Resident Evil, yeah, no, that's the big game. That's the big one, and that has to be their 2021. I hope it's not something big. I mean, shoot, I don't know what it could possibly be. If they ever did decide to do another big franchise game, it has to be. It would have to be like a Street Fighter 6, but that would be really stupid considering the existence of Championship Edition. It couldn't be Monster Hunter because Monster Hunter.
I'm sure it'll be something.
It'll have to be something small. There's no way it's going to be something big. It has to be something small. Unless the biggest I could possibly see it being is this alleged Switch exclusive Monster Hunter game. That's all I could see it being. But I don't see that happening because Monster Hunter World is still growing.
Yeah.
And I don't see them trying to force a new game out and stuff like that. I think it has to be. It has to be like a Mega Man or a Darkstalkers or something like that. So that's just
Well, either way, I am very excited at the possibility of a new Resident Evil remake soon. That is very exciting. Yes. I've just been looking at the cover art the whole time we've been talking, and I'm excited. It looks great.
Is it your new phone wallpaper?
Dude, once someone makes it, it will be either on my laptop or my main monitor. It will be on there at some point.
That's beautiful, sir. You have a beautiful story.
I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
With Nemesis's beautiful face right on there.
RE3 remake changed my life.
Dang.
And
okay.
3 will again
probably change it again.
At the worst, it'll be slightly less good.
Yeah, only slightly, but, really.
Yeah. Not that it'll be disappointing. It'll be like 2 remake. Let's just say 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
3 remake, like 9.5. You know, like that. God, I can't wait.
Well, I'm glad.
But yeah, so that was our big Resident Evil discussion.
Yeah.
Went on for like an hour plus. I am hyped, people, and you should be hyped too.
Me?
That's all I'm saying. Well, I guess you are everyone.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how good it is because I know it's going to be a good game. But
don't worry, you'll be watching me on stream, buddy.
Oh, I know.
And yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait.
It's going to be a hype time for Resident Evil fans. Man, it's been a hype time for Resident Evil fans, it feels like.
Yeah. And then we're getting that RE1 remake, baby.
How perfect of this, though, to come out as soon as you start your Resident Evil lineup.
I know. It is perfect.
Yeah. And I remember being like, why are you skipping RE3? Because I'm waiting for the remake. I'm like, oh, man, shoot. Like,
I think in stream I said like I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I still thought RE8 would be like leaked or announced before this. But
is that what we said in one of our discussions? Did we say we thought RE3?
Well, during like my RE2 remake stream, that's what I said. I said I think RE8 will be probably shown like positive thinking, shown at maybe E3 next year or the year coming up, and then remake will be shown the year after. That was my prediction.
That's interesting. I remember my prediction being, well, I don't know if this is right. I'm probably 100% wrong, but I remember saying like I think RE3 will come out first and then RE8 because they're gonna get to 4, and I don't think they want to remake 4.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest. But I remember thinking RE3 would be coming out sooner than later.
Well, I mean, you got your wish. It's sooner rather than later now, so.
Woo! I'm so happy.
I know you're happy.
I'm very happy.
I'm glad, my friend.
I can't wait.
But I mean,
day one pre-order. Day one.
All I can say is I cannot wait for next week because we're gonna get a boatload of announcements, and I'm excited to see what we're gonna get. And then I'm gonna spend even more money, and then I'm gonna have to borrow money from my homeless friends.
I know.
So
same. So many. The thing is, it's like, no, well, there's a lot of games coming out. That's it. Yeah. A lot of great games.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in March, where like I feel like everybody is always surprised when from like February to like April. Usually a lot of games come out during that time.
Yeah.
I feel like every year people are like, "There's so many games coming out. What the heck? What is this?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys, it happened last year, or yeah, it happened this year. It happened the year before that. It's gonna happen again next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a prime time for games. It's again from like February to April, and then not the summer, then the end of the year. Those are the two big schedules for games.
Yeah, I mean those are big dates for terms of just releases. So
yeah,
it's good. It's shaping up to be a pretty exciting 2020. You got Guilty Gear, you got Resident Evil 3. What else is coming out? Smash DLC Round 2.
Persona 5 Royale.
Persona 5 Royal. What else did you... Nier Automata is getting something, hopefully. Or Nier might be getting something.
Maybe.
I've heard rumors about that, so I mean, that'll be cool.
Oh, yeah, no, wait. No, I forgot, yeah. Nier Nier got its 10th anniversary website put up. People think that's mostly just for the concert that was re-announced for 2020. I think a new, like, string of concerts for that. But Yoko Taro, I forget what people were predicting, what event. It might have been Jump Festa or Tokyo Game Show. I think it might have been Tokyo Game Show. Yoko Taro said at some point he thinks he's ready to show off his new game. Or I think this was reportedly he said that.
I heard that too.
I can't remember the source and the validity of what he said. Or exactly how he said it. But yeah. There'll be probably a new Nier game coming out at some point.
I think we know what our next podcast is going to be about. It's going to be talking about all this crap in 2020 we're looking forward to, because good lord.
Yeah, baby. Well, I assume next time we'll be talking about...
whatever happened in the Game Awards and stuff like that.
Well, Game Awards, and then end of the year.
Yeah.
Possibly, or end of the decade. Then what's coming up next. That'll be the next podcast or two. Yeah. You know? One of those. Yeah. Very excited.
What an exciting time for video gamers.
Yeah, you pretty much just heard mostly me ramble about idiotically ramble about RE3 Remake and have no sense of like cohesion to it.
It's called passion, John, and it drives men to do insane things.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But is that it for this podcast?
Oh, that's it for this podcast.
Yeah.
My topic is so off the beaten path and just complete trash that I don't even want to talk about it. So,
I did not think. Well, first I forgot how much I would ramble about something I am passionate about and love. But to be honest, there was a lot to discuss. There's what happened, cover art, what we think it'll be like, when it'll be shown, when it'll come out. A lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of Resident Evil.
Yeah. Lots of Capcom, man.
Capcom? You mean no, specifically Resident Evil. We didn't.
But I talked about Tekken too.
Yeah, well, Tekken specifically, you went mostly on.
You brought up Mega Man.
I brought up Mega Man as the possible other game, which would be cool. Yeah. But this was Resident Evil, the podcast.
Capcom has some of the best IPs in video games, and they're finally doing good stuff with them.
No, they're Resident Evil. That's it.
Resident Evil,
Monster Hunter.
They brought back Mega Man for Mega Man 11.
Yeah, and they haven't touched him
since.
Monster
Hunter. But that was
people still want Mega Man X. People still want Mega Man Legends 3.
Wasn't that like a year ago?
Mega Man 11?
Yeah. Well, it's a work in progress.
Sure. I'll believe it when I see it. I think they brought. Well, number one, that was also Mega Man's 30th anniversary, and I believe a response to Mighty Number 9's failure. So I think that's what I think.
But. Well, Capcom had nothing to do with that game.
Mega Man 11 or Mighty Number 9?
Mighty
Number 9. I know, but they were basically saying, yo, screw you, Inafune. Here's how you make a real Mega Man game.
Probably. But, hey, it's way better than what they've been doing in the past.
Well, yeah. Prior to what? I think around the time of Street Fighter 4 or 5?
I think even 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I would say, even.
Well, Street Fighter 5 had a middling launch, and then...
Yeah.
The only thing, Resident Evil, I think, has consistently still been, people like it, right?
Well, RE7 was the flip, kind of, but that was more, people thought that was a fluke. Like, oh well, they tried something different and
it just paid. It
something
just happened to pay off.
Something stuck. Yeah. But then Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2, Monster Hunter, boom, doing good things.
Yeah.
They brought out Mega Man 2, which I didn't play it, so I can't say much.
Sick man. No, I'm kidding. That's fine. I'm joking. That's fine.
And all you gotta do, man, just fix Street Fighter, man. Just do it.
Well, I mean, Championship Edition.
Shut up. The game is not fun to play.
I don't. Wow, dang. That's a. Actually.
Like, how many times have you played Street Fighter 5 and gotten bored of it 30 minutes in?
I liked it. I don't think it's bad.
You got bored. Blake got bored of it, people. He is lying in your faces.
I don't know. I still kind of want to play Street Fighter 5. Like, there's a part of me that wants to play it, and it was on sale for $7.99. But I'm like, $8 for nothing? No thanks.
I haven't played much Street Fighter. I'm not a huge Street Fighter person. I like the characters and everything. I'd rather play Street Fighter 4.
Well, Street Fighter 4 is like amazing, but it took a while to get there. Like, Street Fighter 4 started off being like super broken, and then
how long has Street Fighter 5 been here, Blake? And it's still terrible.
Street Fighter 5 launched when?
Let me guess. 2015.
I think you're actually right. Hold on, let me slowly type in.
It feels like it was not that long ago, but it has been around a while.
I think you're close. No, you're 1 year off. 2016.
2016.
It's been 3 years, and they've had 4 packs of DLC with the 5th one coming in. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, you know,
this might be the end of Street Fighter 5. I'm not sure. But who cares about Street Fighter 5? We're talking about Resident Evil.
Well, pretty much. Capcom's on the rise again. You know, they're making some good decisions. Just bring out RE3 remake for March. Just do it, you cowards. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
I'll have to see.
Well, that was our let's see here. Over 2-hour discussion about Resident Evil. Not really, but
almost.
So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good discussion, Blake. Again, sorry for rambling, sir.
No, hey, like I said, you're passionate. You love Resident Evil.
Passionate.
I'm glad.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it with my my rambling. But I thought it was fun. We will see what happens, and next time we record, we will have seen what happened and when it happened.
Yeah.
So I think it's very exciting. At the very least, I think we can agree it will be sometime next week. We see something official, and it should be great. Yeah. So yeah, that was what episode is this?
This is 10.
10.
Podcast 10. I know, 10 years old. Look at this.
Damn. Yeah. So episode 10.
Oh no! Wait. You know what? I'm sorry. This is episode 9. I apologize.
I was lied to. Episode 9. This will probably be something titled, Resident Evil related. I assume.
Yeah.
Because what is Blake doing if it's not? But this is good. Thank you guys for listening. And yeah, can't wait for more news. So we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening to Just Hangouts. And thank you, Blake, for being my co-host once again and letting me host.
You're very welcome.
It will never happen again. See you guys next time.